This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5 o'clock and only on RTV6, a teen shares her story. She says she was sexually assaulted by a classmate and that Hamilton Southeastern schools didn't do enough to protect her.
Also this morning, from living on the streets to finding a home, the city says a program targeting former panhandlers is starting to pay off.
A shave and a haircut and a good paycheck. We'll show you how a high school program that gives the tools to the barber trade to young people, how it helps them to get hired after graduation. 5 o'clock here on your Tuesday. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Lauren Casey.
Rafael Sanchez, I could use a little, buzz on the side,
shave and a haircut.
We'll have to check that out. Rafael Sanchez in for Meredith Barrick. What a great Tuesday morning. And hey, I woke up this morning by...
Yeah. It's like,
I know. I came in early to relieve Kyle this morning. I woke up and I could kind of hear the thunder in the distance, and I rolled over and I obviously wanted to check if there was any warnings. At the time, there was a tornado watch. That has been dropped. That is the good news, and there's no additional threat of severe weather here throughout the day today. And radar is actually pretty quiet right now across at least central Indiana. Those are the heavy storms in Ohio that went through our area earlier this morning. And we do have some rain in southern sections of the state, but for the most part, your commute from this point forward, especially for at least the next few hours and in around the metro area, should be pretty dry. But we are still in a very unsettled air mass. You can see this cluster of storms that went through now moving into Ohio, back off to our west. There's a few more. Most of this should bypass us to the south, but as the sun comes up later on this morning, we still have a very, very humid air mass in place. So it's not going to take a whole lot to flare up some additional thunderstorms throughout the day today, but again, they would be non-severe. 60s and 70s this morning with a ton of humidity out there. Highs eventually today climb up into the mid-80s, and again, just an isolated downpour. Today will not be a washout. Plenty of dry hours, Lauren, here throughout the course of the day.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look at our traffic now map right here. We do have a crash cleanup ongoing here at the North Split in the northbound left lane, so just use caution as you're traveling through that spot, but overall, it's not causing too many delays at this time. Let's take a look right now from our INDOT traffic camera over on the east side of town, I-70 and Sherman Drive. This is part of the detour route if you're trying to get to the east side and you're avoiding I-465 eastbound and northbound. Looks like everything here is traveling up to speed. We'll continue to monitor this spot, though, and keep you updated throughout the morning.
I was known as the girl who got raped. That's what people would look at me and say.
A Fishers teenager sharing her story only on RTV6. Amaya Armstrong says that a classmate at Hamilton Southeastern School District sexually assaulted her, and she says the district failed to protect her.
Call 6 Investigates. Kara Kenny has learned the federal government has finished its investigation into this matter, and this morning she's explaining what they found.
Amaya's parents filed a complaint with the U.S. Department of Education back in February 2018, alleging Hamilton Southeastern schools failed to properly address Amaya's allegations of sexual misconduct. Amaya Armstrong spoke with RTV6 in January 2018 with her face hidden, but now she's ready to come out of the shadows. Amaya says when she was 15 years old, an older classmate forced her to perform sexual acts on him even after she said no. Amaya is now 17 years old and a senior at HSE. What do you think the school could have done better?
I think they could have provided me with resources on how to cope, and instead I had to find that out by myself. There was nothing that they helped me do. They mentioned going to the school therapist, and that was absolutely no help. I didn't want to talk to the school. I felt like the school had kind of turned their backs on me, and I didn't know what to do.
Title IX is a federal law that says a school has a responsibility to respond promptly and efficiently to sexual harassment, including investigating and taking action to end the harassment. In its findings just released to Amaya and her parents, the U.S. Department of Education said it had concerns the district did not appropriately determine whether a hostile environment existed for Amaya following the alleged sexual assault. The feds also had concerns the district did not appropriately follow up on reports that additional students may have been sexually harassed by the same male student.
They didn't talk to people like they could have. They didn't protect. They just didn't know what to do.
The male student is identified in federal documents as Student B. We are not identifying him because he has not been criminally charged. We've been unable to reach him for comment. I'm Call 6 Investigates, Kara Kenny.
Kara, thank you so much. As part of the agreement with the feds, Hamilton Southeastern has agreed to implement several steps, including improving its Title IX training and improving its documentation procedure of sexual harassment complaints. The district provided this statement to RTV6. It reads, "We participated in a process through the U.S. Department of Education, which did not result in any violations. As part of that process, we agreed to share information with the department for a limited period of time." While unrelated to the agreement with the department, we have proactively engaged in efforts to improve our non-discrimination and anti-harassment procedures and professional development opportunities for staff and students. We will continue to monitor and refine all of our practices to reflect our continuing commitment to educational community, equity, and respect.
The time right now is 5:06. The leader of the Indiana National Guard has resigned following a lawsuit accusing him of defamation, and it all started with an alleged extramarital affair. Governor Holcomb says that he recommended that Major General Courtney Carr retire, and the governor says that Carr will resign effective this coming Friday. A former contractor with the Indiana National Guard filed this lawsuit accusing Carr of retaliating against her after she reported his alleged affair with a subordinate. The governor's office says Brigadier General Timothy Winslow will serve as the interim adjutant general.
The time now is 5:06. The budget is now in the hands of the City County Council after Indy's mayor presents his spending plan. And here are some of the highlights in that budget. $1.2 million for potential IMPD body cameras. A 40% cut in funding for the mayor's office from about $10 million to about $4 million, and an additional $8 million for the Department of Public Works, which is an increase of about 5%.
And a program to help curb panhandling downtown will get more funding under the mayor's budget plan. It would put more people to work cleaning up our city. Last month, we talked to a man who says the program led to a better paying job. After living on the streets for a year, he's now working full-time and moving into his own apartment.
It was just really tough because I wasn't getting any calls back for job opportunities, and it was getting close to a year. And then once this door opened, I took the opportunity, and I feel blessed to have this job.
The mayor is asking for $300,000 to give a job to the homeless. The city spent about $120,000 on the pilot program this year. You can read more about the entire budget proposal by going to the RTV6 app and clicking on this story. It is 5:08, and this month we are sharing programs offered by local schools that help to prepare students for future careers in a range of fields. One of those industries is currently seeking more people who are professionally trained.
And that's why Pike Career and STEM Center at Pike High School is offering their students the opportunity to learn how to become a barber. Our Alyssa Donovan is live this morning, and Alyssa joins us with the buzz that this program hopes to create for those interested in the skills. Fill us in.
Good morning. So we often hear about cosmetology school, but barbering involves a unique set of skills, and those students involved in this program are learning a very different curriculum than what they might learn at a cosmetology program.
I decided to choose this program because I've always had a fascination with cutting hair.
James Taylor is a senior at Pike High School. He's in his second year of barbering. The student working on his hair is in his first year.
They all practice on each other. Every student has a different hair texture, hair type, so that gives them experience on all walks of life.
Taylor is one of 40 students in the program. Students learn barbering basics, which are different than what they'd learn in a cosmetology school.
Cosmetologists typically don't use straight razors on the skin, barbers do. The barbering curriculum also goes more into depth as it pertains to the skin.
Those in the program also learn skills that will help them in any career.
I've been learning a lot about professionalism and how to run a business.
The opportunity, an important one for Taylor and his peers. While he plans to go on to college, he knows that's not the path for everyone.
I want to go to college, but not a lot of people do, so it's good to have another option that's healthy and, legal.
The program can be a stepping stone for those who want to pursue higher education, or students can jump right into the workforce when they finish.
And students involved in this program can receive college credit if that's what they are going towards with their careers. And they also all graduate with a license that allows them to go right into a barber shop when they graduate high school. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you so much. The time now is 5:10. A top-ranking executive with Maple Leaf Farms in northern Indiana now faces charges for giving alcohol to minors. Court documents say that John Tucker and his wife Maria were charged after police in Warsaw, Indiana responded to a call of a loud party at their home in late June. Police say they found more than 30 underage people who had been drinking alcohol at the party. John Tucker is the co-president of Maple Leaf Farms, according to the company's website, and Maple Leaf is known for producing eggs and ducks. As for now, he and his wife only face misdemeanor charges in this case. The time now is 5:11 on this Tuesday. It was a rumbly night. Of course, our Todd Clausen here with a nice calm voice to bring us into the rest of the day.
Yeah, we had those thunderstorms overnight, Raphael. Many of you may have heard of the thunder, seen the lightning. We picked up some needed rainfall, and most of us escaped the severe weather across the area. We only had a few thunderstorm warnings from the Bedford area over towards Vincennes, and that was really just about it. And you see radar is pretty quiet here, at least in central Indiana. Down to the south, we have a few showers, and again, some heavy rainfall moving in towards Vincennes. And this we'll have to keep an eye on. Probably moves through Shoals, clips the Bedford area, maybe clips Seymour as it pushes off towards the east. But for the most part, your commute here in most of central Indiana is going to be in a decent shape, as the storm track, at least this morning, will be down to the south. As we go forward throughout the day today, though, we will flare up the chance of an isolated downpour. But again, your commute, for the most part, is going to be fairly dry, with temperatures that'll be in the 60s, highs eventually today into the 80s. More on that coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. If you cross this median, you could get in trouble. Next in Good Morning Indiana, another big change brought about by the red line and how one business owner is not happy about it.
You remember when your parents used to say, stop playing those video games. Now, you may not hear that as much because some video games can help you find what? A good paying job. A story that you have to see this morning right here on Good Morning Indiana.
And Raphael, here's a look right now. Your drive on the south side, I-65 and I-465, where traffic is still moving along up to speed despite that closure in the eastbound lanes of 465 just past this area. We'll continue to keep a close eye on that detour route and keep you updated on the other side of the break. Stay with us. You're watching Good Morning Indiana.
Weekdays at 9 on RTV6.
Welcome back. Working for you, RTV6 is helping you to navigate these changes created by the Red Line Rapid Transit route. That includes some new barriers. There are new medians that look like speed bumps along Meridian Street and College Avenue. You see it right there. That means you can only turn, make a left turn rather, or make a U-turn at the intersections with traffic signals. We caught up with some drivers turning left anyway and going right across the median. The change makes it more difficult to get to some businesses like Lincoln Square Pancake House on Meridian Street. The owner of that restaurant is worried.
As a business owner, it's a little scary for sure. I'd rather actually have a left turn, but it is scary.
I didn't see anything posted. See, I always thought U-turns were illegal. So now I need to make more U-turns and less left turns. All right. Well, I guess that you learn something new every day.
Well, only emergency vehicles and buses are allowed to cross those medians. You can get a ticket for violating that rule.
September 1st will be very interesting in Indianapolis.
Oh my goodness,
We're going to see what happens on that day. In this age of the Xbox and the Nintendo Switch, there's a new arcade in town that is teaching students about the world as well as just having fun. Over at the Indiana State Fairgrounds, we find our Erin Lish showing us how Purdue Extension is trying to get kids classroom to career ready. And you know, Erin, for me, Pac-Man got me ready for life. How about you? What was your favorite arcade game?
You know, I really loved Mario Kart, but these might be even better. We are inside the horticulture building here, and they have 7 different neat games here. They focus on different things like health, agriculture, anything that really gets kids interested in the STEM field. They have the Tooth Sleuth that talks about carnivores, herbivores, omnivores. I mean, this really encompasses what kids want to do and maybe want to have a career down the road. And actually, when we were talking to kids, it seems like they are pretty interested in this, and here's what they have to say.
they're realistic. That's kind of cool. It's like they're fun, they're hard, they're challenging.
If it can be a little arcade game where they learn a little bit about health and the importance of calcium in their healthy diets, to make them think about that as their career choice of the future, that's what we hope to do.
So Purdue Extension really wants to get kids starting at a young age, just getting excited about STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. This is open every day. This is the Great Grains game, where they have to match which one goes with the right category, and the faster you do it, the more points that you get. And this is actually open this entire time at the fair, so you can come over here, and if you miss this time here, they actually have this at the kids' museums all across the area here. We're going to have a little bit more from kids in the next half hour, but for now, back to you in the studio.
All right, Erin, thank you so much. Lots of fun out there at the fair. And let's take a live look outside right now. This is our Weather Now camera high atop the Salesforce Tower with a view to the south, and that's where we had storms roll through while you were sleeping. But Todd, those have cleared out. What can we expect today?
Yeah, for the most part, those severe storms have moved off towards the east. No watches, no warnings here across central Indiana. We will have to maintain the chance of a spotty storm here and there throughout the course of the day today, but by no means is today a washout. There's going to be a lot of dry hours mixed in, so it's warm and muggy, so everybody will have to deal with that throughout the entire day today. That humidity doesn't really drop until late tonight, more so tomorrow, but that is going to usher in a new air mass, which is going to bring better weather for us as we round out the work week. So here's what Storm Team 6 radar looks like right now, and again, there's not a whole lot on it here in Indiana. It's active in portions of Ohio, but that's the rain that we went through a few hours ago. A few heavier downpours over here near Vincennes, some scattered showers, and very light drizzle in the Nashville, Bedford area down towards Shoals as well. But other than that, we're just dealing with mostly cloudy skies, and you do notice the clouds trying to break apart a little bit there up in the Lafayette area. So what's going to happen throughout the day today is overall it's a mostly cloudy day, but I do think those clouds will thin for some sunshine at times throughout the day today. So you think, all right, good, we're going to turn sunny. Well, with the humidity and the instability that we have around, the more sunshine we see throughout the day today, the better chances of flaring up some of these isolated downpours very quickly throughout the course of the afternoon hours. And TrueCast kind of paints the picture with just these isolated spots of green, which would be these downpours. We're not expecting any severe weather from this point forward, so it would be just some heavy rain, maybe a little bit of lightning mixed in, but that should be just about it. Of course, if you do see lightning, you do need to take those plans inside, let this downpour go through, and then it'll be off into your neighboring community within probably about 10 to 15 minutes. So spotty storm chances today. Do not let it prevent you from doing anything outdoors. Just know that there will be that storm chance out there. So say you're going to the State Fair today, you may have to duck into a barn or one of the indoor facilities for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and that would be just about it. 73 right now, the humidity sky high, 96%. It remains very warm, very muggy throughout the day today. Everybody's in the 60s and 70s this morning. Everybody's going up into the low to mid 80s later on this afternoon. But when you factor in that humidity, it is going to feel more like it is going to be in the low 90s. But again, for the State Fair this evening, if you're heading there after work, temperatures fall back down into the 70s. Tomorrow, we get the sunshine back, 85. The humidity comes way down, very comfortable. Thursday's the pick of the week. Sunshine, low humidity, and a high temperature, Lauren, of 80 degrees.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Here's the live look right now over on the east side, I-70 and Post Road. Traffic in this area is moving along just fine, no issues. You can see traffic hopping onto the interstate at this hour. We do have an issue, though, to tell you about on the east side. Let's take a look at our traffic now map. This is southbound I-465 to I-70, the exit ramp there. We do have an overturned semi blocking that ramp, so we'll continue to monitor that and keep you updated throughout the morning.
An iconic rock and roll Hall of Famer announces a slight change for his upcoming Indianapolis concert. We'll tell you what's behind the change for the Rocket Man. That story next on Good Morning Indiana.
Friday, only at Ashley Home Store.
It is 5:25 on your Tuesday. Here's a live look on the east side, I-70 at Franklin Road, where traffic is moving along just fine this morning. We do have one issue on I-465 on the east side. The southbound ramp to I-70 is blocked for an overturned semi. Of course, we'll continue to keep a close eye on that and let you know when it is all clear. Well, hey, if you're an Elton John fan, you'll have to wait just a little bit longer than planned. Just a little bit at Baker's Lake Fieldhouse.
Just a little bit. One day longer for a man known for his fashion and his many, many, many hits. The original concert scheduled for Friday, October the 25th of this year is now set for Saturday, October the 26th. The promoter of the concert says the change is due to a scheduling issue with the show in Toronto. So you can blame Canada for this problem. If you bought tickets already, don't worry. Please Be Happy, not his song, but they'll be honored for the new date. I can't imagine anyone who bought tickets for this show is going to be really upset not to see the Rocket Man one day later.
One day later.
Yeah.
It's all good. Did I just hear, by the way, did I just hear thunder?
No, you heard the garbage truck.
Okay.
that would be the dumpster out back getting cleaned out. So that is no thunder. I saw that look on your face, though, and I knew exactly what you were thinking. No, our severe weather threat has come to an end here. That is the good news, and there will be some additional chances, though, for some spotty storms throughout the course of the day today. But spotty is the key word there. Nothing widespread, nothing severe. Temperatures today will be climbing into the low 80s by the noon hour, and then mid 80s later on this afternoon. The humidity sticks with us throughout the entire day, but the humidity does drop tomorrow, and that sets us up for a beautiful stretch of weather for Thursday and Friday. The time now is 5:27. Stay with Good Morning Indiana and RTV6. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.
Only on RTV6 News.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
He's not this cold-hearted neck smash shooter that the school, wanted him to be.
We're hearing from the family of the Muncie teen who brought a loaded gun near a school. Only on RTV6 why his loved ones say the teenager never intended on using the gun. Plus,
we plan to retire here. This was our retirement home.
On this Tuesday, a Southside couple being forced out of their home, possibly to make way for a new interstate. Working for you, we're taking their concerns straight to the planning officials.
And from classroom to career, this morning we're taking a look at innovative programs giving Hoosier students a level up on the competition. It is 5:30 on your Tuesday. Thanks for joining us here on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
I'm Rafael Sanchez in for Meredith Barrick. What a beautiful morning it is. I was going to say evening, but it is morning. I'm still dark. I'm still sleeping. This is not my shift. Love visiting with you people. You guys are great in the morning.
Oh, yeah. We have fun.
The Todd Clausen, it was a busy overnight for you. You were here at 1 this morning with Kyle Mounts, making sure that we were all safe. Luckily, no major damage across the area, and things have calmed down so much.
Yeah, in fact, the only damage report got us a few trees down in Knox County, which is right along the Wabash River down in the Vincennes area. So that's just kind of out of our viewing area. But here in central Indiana, yeah, we had some thunderstorms. You probably heard the thunder, maybe had some heavy downpours, which were needed across central Indiana and your neighborhood. And it's pretty quiet right now, as you see on Storm Team 6 radar. We do continue to have some showers down to our south, really in the same spot down here in the Vincennes area. So south of Sullivan. And some of this heavy rain will go towards Shoals and may clip the Bedford Mitchell area here this morning. But that's definitely where the storm track is setting up. So it's this area that I have circled here that will have the best potential to pick up some heavier rainfall here this morning. So it does include southern Indiana. I point that out just in case your travels take you from Indiana down towards the Kentucky area here this morning. Otherwise, everybody's just going to have some isolated downpours off and on throughout the day. By no means a washout today. It's warm. It's very muggy here this morning with temperatures that are in the 70s. Then eventually this afternoon, mostly cloudy skies. Again, the spot storm chance will be possible with high temperatures that'll eventually climb up into the mid-80s. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Here's the live look right now on the south side, I-465 at the Harding Street exit, State Road 37. You can see traffic in this area is moving along just fine. There are no delays here to slow you down, but let's take a look at our traffic now map. We do have that overturned semi blocking the ramp right now, southbound I-465 at I-70 on the east side. We'll continue to monitor that. It's not backing up traffic too much this morning. And don't forget about this closure, eastbound, northbound I-465 between I-65 and I-70 on the southeast side.
The time now is 5:33, and RTV6 is working for you and getting answers for a couple facing the growing likelihood that they're going to be forced out of their home. Houses and businesses are being torn down as construction continues on I-69 south of Indianapolis. Penny and Douglas Bertie say they were never given a clear reason why their home is among the properties listed to be taken during I-69's construction. They say plans show the highway running behind their neighborhood. INDOT tells us the new interstate is not slated to run through the Bertie's property, but their home will likely be torn down to build some sort of drainage system. INDOT is currently assessing which properties they need to take. The Berties may be forced to leave their home as soon as January.
At 5:33, an issue that has neighbors in Castleton turning their noses up should be fixed by the end of this week. That's according to the Department of Public Works. A drainage project in the Castleton Farms neighborhood near 75th and Shadeland left behind a dead fish and a terrible smell. DPW says that the Homeowners Association knew that the fish kill was necessary. Dredging work is getting underway now, and we're told that the pond will be restocked once the project wraps up in November. It is our mission to work for you. If you're not getting the answers you think you deserve, you can reach out to us by emailing us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
The Indiana Department of Health is on alert after several cases of young people getting seriously ill after smoking electronic cigarettes. The department is asking doctors to report any young patients with a history of vaping who unexpectedly develop serious respiratory illnesses. Now, this comes after officials in Illinois and Wisconsin reported several young people with severe lung disease. Those patients reported using e-cigarettes in the weeks and months prior to getting sick. We told you last week the Food and Drug Administration is also asking people who experience any health issues after vaping to contact the FDA. The time now is 5:35, and this month we're sharing the efforts by local schools to prepare students for careers every day.
Yeah, that's right. And students are learning the skills they need to become professional barbers at the Pike Career and STEM Center at Pike High School. And our own Alyssa Donovan is joining us live from the school this morning. Alyssa, how is this program different than a normal cosmetology program?
So, Lauren, there are a few major differences between cosmetology programs and barbering programs. One of those differences is that barbers use a straight razor on the skin and cosmetologists don't. These students are also getting a more in-depth look at skincare and more education regarding that. Now, there are 40 students in the program right now. They attend class for part of the day, and then they come here to the barber shop inside the school for the other half. The program has been around for 5 years and always attracts a lot of interest. Students learn precision cutting, how to do facials, the art of shaving, along with skills applicable to any career like professionalism, marketing skills, and how to build their own brand. We spoke to one student who says he's grateful to have this opportunity that gives him a future right after high school.
It makes me feel good. It makes me feel safe and comfortable to get out of school and be by myself. It lets me know that I have a chance to provide for myself if nobody can do it for me.
Now, students graduate with a Barber Certification when they complete the program, and they have all the skills they need to go on to work right away in a barber shop. Along with working on their peers and family members, students are also working on the public, so clients are welcome. The barbershop is open to the public, and if you'd like to make an appointment, we have details on that on our website. Just click on this story. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you so much. Pinball, Frogger, Pac-Man. Yeah, they're all fun games that you can play at an arcade.
I love Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man, but how about ones that are entertaining for kids where they're actually learning along the way? I know that Erin Lish loves Mario Kart. She's live this morning at the Indiana State Fairgrounds inside the Agriculture Horticultural Building, showing us exactly that. Erin, who is creating all this fun learning environment, and what are you doing this morning on the job?
Oh, you know what? I'm having way too much fun here at the Purdue Extension Pixel Play Arcade. You guys can swing by here during this week at the fair, and you can find out all the learning and the fun that your kids can have here. Glowing lights and sounds of high scores are coming out of the Purdue Extension Arcade, and there's a big fan of these games.
They're realistic. That's kind of cool. It's like they're fun, they're hard, they're challenging.
Fun and challenging is exactly what Purdue Extension was hoping for.
One of the things that we found is one of the easiest ways to teach youth about science or other different educational aspects of it is put it in a game format.
Their goal is to get kids interested in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math.
So what we want to do is we want to make sure that the youth continue to be involved in science, engage in it as they grow up and go through school.
The games focus on health and science like good grains and creatures roaming Indiana like hellbenders. But kids don't even realize they're learning.
Yeah, I think they're amphibians. Yeah, salamanders, like little salamander things that are endangered in Indiana. I think I have actually seen a real one.
Bringing excitement to learning and a dream of a career in the making.
If it can be a little arcade game where they learn a little bit about health and the importance of calcium in their healthy diets, to make them think about that as their career choice of the future, that's what we hope to do.
And what's really neat about this place, these 7 games are made by Purdue students. And you heard from Aaron here. He was talking about the hellbenders. He found out that they are endangered here in Indiana. He would have known that unless he came to this area here. So you can bring your kids here, again, all week long here at the fair. And if you miss out, they will be traveling this awesome arcade all through the local museums for kids. We're going to have a little bit more in the next half hour. And it might be playing a little bit while we wait, but for now, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Aaron, thank you so much. The time now is 5:39. A 15-year-old student caught with a gun outside of Muncie Central High School is now facing formal criminal charges. Only on RTV6, the boy's aunt says that boy needs help.
He's not this cold-hearted neck smash shooter.
According to court documents, the teen had been disruptive on the day he brought that weapon near the school last week. His aunt, who asked us not to be named, says her nephew was being bullied and threatened and brought the gun to school for protection.
It was a bad decision, but he would have never used it. He would have never, unless he felt his life was in danger. And for him to have it, I think it made him feel a little more at ease, because if you're, why would you want to get up and go to school every day? And why would you be there all day long and then, and then try to do something at the end of the day?
The boy is facing several criminal charges, including possession of a firearm on school property.
The leader of the Indiana National Guard is stepping down following a lawsuit accusing him of defamation. Governor Eric Holcomb says that he recommended Major General Courtney Carr retire, and he's received Carr's resignation letter Saturday. This is effective on Friday. A former contractor with the Indiana National Guard filed a lawsuit accusing Carr of retaliating against her after she reported his alleged affair with a subordinate. Brigadier General Timothy Winslow will serve as the interim adjutant general, according to the governor's office. It is 5:41 here on your Tuesday, and let's check in with Todd and see what we can expect outside today for the bus stop.
Yeah, as the kids got off to school here this morning, for most of you, it's just a mostly cloudy start to the day. It's warm and muggy for everybody. The temperature will be on average right around 72 degrees. Now, throughout the day today, our rain chances aren't completely zero. There will be some spotty storms around, but spotty is the key word there. Not everybody's going to see it, and if you do, it's just a quick passing downpour. Your temperature today gets up to right around 85 degrees. So this is what radar looks like right now. The storm track continues to be here across southern portions of Indiana. So if your travels do take you to the south today, you will run into a better chance of seeing some storms. But if you do have plans this evening, the Indians are in town. 7:05 first pitch. It's warm, it's muggy, could be a stray storm, but they will definitely get this game in. I wouldn't even let this stray storm hamper your plans to go down to Victory Field with temperatures that'll fall into the 70s. Once we get to tomorrow, a whole new air mass is in place. I think you'll like it. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. A Democratic presidential candidate heading off the campaign trail. Straight ahead, the reason behind her temporary departure. It's 5:42. We'll be right back.
Good choices never tasted so good.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 5:45, and we have a live look right now from that overturned semi. This is on the east side at the ramp from southbound I-465 to I-70. Now, the good news here is it looks like traffic can still get by on the right side of that ramp, just very slowly. But, of course, we'll continue to keep a close eye on this crash cleanup and keep you updated on when it is clear.
The time now is 5:46. It is 73 degrees outside. Democratic presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard is putting her campaign on pause. Gabbard is a major in the Hawaii National Guard and will now report for active duty today. The presidential candidate will head to Indonesia for a 2-week deployment and training exercise. She becomes the first candidate in the modern era to step away from the campaign trail to serve in the military. She's also the first female combat veteran to run for president. Also new today, the head of the Federal Aviation Administration says he will get his first formal briefing on the Boeing 737 MAX. During his swearing-in ceremony, Stephen Dixon said the grounded planes will not fly until he's assured it is safe to do so. The MAX, as you may recall, was grounded worldwide after crashes in Indonesia and Ethiopia killed 346 people.
Officials say an officer and a suspect were killed in a shootout with the California Highway Patrol during a traffic stop. Now, Riverside police say that for unknown reasons, the suspect began firing on officers. At least one CHP officer returned gunfire. The suspect was hit along with 3 officers. Officials later said the suspect died at a hospital. Riverside police say one of the injured officers remains in critical condition. The second officer only has minor injuries.
Let's talk about your pets. In this case, innocent swims are making some dogs really sick and in some cases killing them, not in Indiana, but across the country. This happening in Georgia, Texas, and North Carolina. One family in North Carolina had taken their 3 Westies to a pond. All 3 got sick. 2 of them started having seizures. Unfortunately, 3 died within 2 days. Vets say to get medical attention as soon as possible if you think your pet is sick from algae.
It's usually gastrointestinal signs. Dogs are just not acting themselves, not feeling well for a day or 2. Vomiting, diarrhea, lethargy would be the most common things we see.
The vets say the toxic algae can stick on a dog's fur, so they say give them a bath after they swim. The algae is usually found in shallow water, which when it gets really warm outside, it can be found all over the country. You may even be able to spot it before your dog gets in. Sometimes you'll see the algae or blooms floating at the top of the water. The time now is 5:48. We saw some water today. You may see some ponding along some interstates and roads because of the rain we had today, Todd, but all clear for now.
Yeah, and we needed that rainfall. August has been very, very dry here across central Indiana, so if we can get some rain, especially throughout the overnight hours, that doesn't hamper plans. And without severe weather, we're in pretty good shape, and that's exactly what we had for the most part. So let's kind of walk you through what's happening right now on Storm Team 6 radar. You notice there is some rain down to our south, and that's where the main storm track has been off towards the east. That last little shower has made its way out of the Richmond area, and so going forward for your morning commute, with the exception for those of you traveling to southern Indiana, I do think your morning commute is going to be fairly dry, but where it is raining, it is coming down quite heavy there in southern locales. So throughout the day today, our storm chances won't be completely 0, but we're not going to see those lines of storms coming through. It's more going to be just those isolated pop-up storms here and there. And there's just a lot of instability around in the atmosphere. There's a lot of humidity around as well. So overall, skies are mostly cloudy, but as we do thin some of the clouds out for some hazy sunshine at times throughout the day today, I do think that's going to help to flare up just some isolated downpours here and there across the area. So just don't be shocked if you see one here throughout the course of the day today, and maybe there could be a little bit of thunder and lightning mixed in, but we're not going to see any additional severe weather threat here across central Indiana. So that is good news. You don't have to worry about that. Obviously, though, if you do see any lightning, you need to take those plans briefly indoors to get out of harm's way and just let that thunderstorm pass. But for the most part, I think it's basically just some tropical-like downpours here and there throughout our Tuesday. There's the view from downtown to the south. You can see the low clouds moving there across the skyline. 73 in Indy right now, 72 in Bloomington. The humidity is way up there, and that humidity is going to be with us throughout the entire day today. So you will definitely notice that if you're going to be out and about. Your temperatures in the early afternoon hours here will be climbing into the low to mid 80s, but the humidity is going to make it feel a little closer, probably to about 90 degrees, and then we're still in the 80s later on this evening at 7:30 before cooling off into the 60s overnight tonight. But once we get past today, we have a great stretch of weather. The humidity comes way down throughout the day tomorrow, and then as we get into Thursday, it's by far the best weather day that we will see throughout the week. Humidity is low, skies are mostly sunny, temperatures in the low 80s. degrees before the heat starts to build back in as we work our way into your 7-day planning forecast. So once we get through the spotty storms today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, really, really nice. The weekend, not bad, just hot with high temperatures, Lauren. That'll be right around 90 degrees.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We're keeping a close eye on your roads as you're heading out the door to start your Tuesday. Take a look here. We do have this overturned semi issue we're monitoring on the east side, southbound I-465 to I-70. Looks like traffic in that area is still getting along okay. Here's a crash we've been monitoring since late last night. It was blocking I-70 westbound. Right now, only one right lane is blocked. As you approach State Road 3, that's the Spiceland exit. So you can see there is still a little bit of a delay, so just use caution as you travel through that area. Let's take you live outside to that overturned semi crash cleanup on the east side. You can see it there with the flashing lights on your screen. This is on the ramp, so just use caution getting around that area. Of course, we'll continue to keep a close eye on any backups and let you know if they will impact your morning drive.
Take it easy in that area. A touching moment for a Jackson County mom battling cancer. After the break, what led to this heartwarming moment?
And if you love to try new places to eat, an event starting next week is just for you. You can download the RTV6 app right now to read more about Devour Indy and when you can start digging in. It is 5:52 here on your Tuesday. Oh yeah, we'll be right back.
The time now is 5:55, and a man serving time in southern Indiana getting to hug his mom on her last day of chemotherapy.
Yeah, a great story here, and it's all thanks to a generous gesture there from the sheriff. Well, the Jackson County Sheriff says that Brad Parks has been extremely active on the inmate work crew, and he helps at a local food pantry. So as a reward for his good attitude, the Sheriff's Office surprised Parks by taking him to his mother's last day of cancer treatment. Sheriff Rick Myers says if inmates take time to make those positive changes, they will be rewarded. Great story there.
And as Todd pointed out in the last hour, great to see mom ringing the bell.
That's always such a special time.
What a great time for success. Todd, clear out there today after some rumbling noises overnight.
Yeah, you know, the severe threat has come to an end. The tornado watch that we had earlier this morning has been dropped. The thunderstorm warnings have expired. And honestly, radar's pretty quiet right now across most of the area. Just a few very light showers well down to our south. So your morning commute should be a decent one here across the area. Just look for a little bit of ponding maybe in spots because we did have some locally heavy rainfall throughout the overnight hours. And going forward throughout the day, there will still be the chance of a few spotty storms in the forecast, but they're all very, very isolated. Nothing widespread and no real threat of severe weather going forward. But it is warm and it is very, very muggy here throughout the day today, Lauren, with a high temperature of 85 degrees.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. All month long, Hiring Hoosiers is looking at unique programs offered to area students. This morning, our own Alyssa Donovan showing us a program helping young students look their best and explains how it could help you in your future as well. And here's a live look downtown right now at Monument Circle on this Tuesday morning. We can show you here the IPL building supporting the Indianapolis Indians for their home game tonight. Stay with us. There's plenty more news, weather, and traffic just ahead here on Good Morning Indiana.